Hi guys. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So before we get started, make sure to hit the like button, also subscribe to my channel. In this video, we will talk about top 10 NFL players ever. So make sure to watch the full video. The NFL has been around since 1920. Over the years, we have witnessed some of the greatest athletes of all time demonstrate the ferocity of the sport of football on the gridiron. There have been different styles of play that crossed over several different eras. Today, the passing game dominates the NFL, but in the past, it was very much a defensive and run-first offense that led to championships. 10. Dick Butkus. Dick Butkus played middle linebacker for the Chicago Bears from 1965 to 1973. During his time in the NFL, Butkus was one of the most ferocious and hard-hitting defensive players in the league. He earned the nickname, the Monster of the Midway, and struck fear into his opponents. It's said that he would growl and snarl at opposing players to intimidate them, all while cursing them out and telling them he was going to destroy them. But Butkus was more than just an intimidator. He was quick to the ball and had the finesse and awareness to be one of the greatest turnover machines on defense that the league has ever seen. In only 9 years of play, Butkus forced 49 turnovers, 22 interceptions, and 27 fumble recoveries. 9. Reggie White. What can be said about Reggie White that hasn't been said before? The defensive end put together one of the greatest careers on the defensive side of the ball ever. He was a prime member of both the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers, amassing incredible stats throughout his career. White played in 121 games with the Eagles and registered 124 sacks over that time. When he went to Green Bay, he added an additional 68.5 sacks in his 6 years with the team. 8. Walter Payton, Sweetness. Walter Payton was selected 4th overall in the 1975 NFL Draft and spent his entire career with the Chicago Bears from 1975 to 1987. There are 2 stories as to how Walter Payton became known as Sweetness, one being the sweet way he ran the ball, and the other being his higher-pitched voice and sweet demeanor. Regardless of why he was named Sweetness, he was anything but. Payton was not just an elusive runner like his nickname may suggest, but an extremely powerful runner. The great Jim Brown used to say Payton was a warrior, and never ran out of bounds to avoid a hit. Despite his power running, Payton was incredibly durable. After an injury in his rookie year, he went on to play in 186 consecutive games. 7. Aaron Donald. Now I know what you're thinking already. How could Aaron Donald already be a top 10 player of all time when he's still in the league and hasn't even played for 10 years yet? The answer is simple: he's just that good. Donald is already a lock for a first-ballot Hall of Fame nomination, and he's only played in the league for 7 years. Since he was drafted in 2014, he hasn't missed a Pro Bowl and has been an All-Pro selection every year except his rookie season when he was the Defensive Rookie of the Year. 6. Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning is arguably the single smartest player in NFL history. During his 18-year career, Manning was known for his audibles and vast knowledge of the offenses that he ran. Many players made careers and multi-million-dollar contract extensions off the arm of Manning. He was easily the most important player on every team he played for, proven by his 5 Most Valuable Player awards, the most ever in NFL history. He only posted a losing record twice in his career, once as a rookie and again in 2001 when he led the number 2 ranked offense in both yards and scoring but had the worst defense in the NFL. When he had a near career-ending injury in 2010, the Colts went from a 10-win team to earning the 1st overall pick in the following draft. Similarly, after Manning retired from football after the 2015 season, the Denver Broncos went from winning the Super Bowl to failing to win double digits in 5 years with 4 losing seasons during that stretch. 5. Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor single-handedly changed multiple positions and offensive schemes forever. In the 1970s, the average NFL lineman was barely larger than Taylor was himself, coming in at an average 6 feet 3 inches 255 pounds. The league began to mount its offense towards a quarterback-driven system, with pass-catching running backs and less rushing overall. Taylor came into the league during this transformation and completely took it by storm. His combination of size and speed decimated offensive schemes. Teams traditionally would allow for running backs to block outside linebackers, but Taylor soon showed everyone that he could overpower any back they put in his way. This led to teams scouting larger, more athletic left tackles who could stand against Taylor on their own. Fast forward 30 years and the left tackle position is the second highest paid position in the NFL, only behind the quarterback. 4. Barry Sanders. Many argue whether or not Barry Sanders is the greatest running back to ever carry a football. At the age of 30, Sanders retired early from football after coming off a nearly 1,500 rushing yard season. The move shocked the sporting world because Sanders was less than 1,500 yards from the all-time rushing yardage record. He retired as the only player to rush for 1,000 yards consecutively in each of their first 10 seasons. Sanders is also the only player to ever rush for at least 1,500 yards in 4 consecutive seasons. 3. Jerry Rice. I honestly believe the final 3 players listed here could be swapped in any order and I'd be happy with the change. Jerry Rice is the single greatest wide receiver in NFL history, and it isn't even close. Rice holds every single major receiving record in NFL history, and the next person up isn't even close. Rice leads the number 2 receiver in receiving categories by over 5,000 yards, over 100 receptions, and over 40 receiving touchdowns. And while some may argue that his records come because of his longevity in the league, being 20 seasons, it's because he was a dominant player at the positive well into his old age. In fact, Rice had over 1,200 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns at the age of 40. 2. Jim Brown. In my opinion, Jim Brown is the greatest running back of all time. While many believe Barry Sanders is better and didn't surpass Brown because he left the game early, they also forget that Brown left the game even earlier and at an even higher height to his career. Jim Brown retired from football at the age of 29 after playing for 9 seasons. After a dispute with owner Art Modell, Brown decided to leave football and pursue a career in movies instead. When he retired, he owned every single major rushing title and still owns many to this day over 50 years later. 1. Tom Brady. Forget football. Tom Brady is the greatest story in the history of sports. He started as an embarrassing display of athleticism at the combine. A chubby, pale, pathetic-looking quarterback out of Michigan would go on to be selected in the 6th round, 199th overall by the New England Patriots. The greatest writer in the world couldn't write a better story of what would come next. Brady would go on to play over 20 seasons, claiming multiple all-time records and winning more Super Bowls than any other franchise had in their history. That's right, not more than any other player, but more than any franchise. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also subscribe to our channel before you go. Thank you for watching.